matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is NFL football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who's made it back from injury, 35 years of age now, Alex Smith.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
The second-round pick out of LSU. The league's about to get their first real extended look at running back Darius Geis, who missed all of his rookie season with a knee injury, but he was ultra-productive in college with over 3,000 yards rushing. A strong runner inside, can also get to the perimeter. He's fortunate enough that the knee injury happened early enough in the season last year that he should be ready to go for all of 2019.
Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, Trent Taylor. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Chiefs now under their veteran head coach, Andy Reid. They will be led out by the 2nd overall pick back in 2016. Hard to believe he's already in his 4th season, Carson Wentz.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense.
You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check back 50. Let's go, team. Listen. It's going to be a long day.
Martin. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
A give to Martin here, out of the gun. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And now the Chiefs' offensive starters.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front, as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain of 28 yards there, and give him a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Come on, set. 60 yards.
From the 50, it's Smith. They complete it to Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And this is complete on the comebacker. It's Landry. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Jarvis Landry with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams are...
He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football right on the money.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, but it's going to be 2nd down. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Wentz. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 28. First out, here's the run with Martin. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. On 2nd down, Martin.
That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably...
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Sheldon Richardson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Bryant's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Man, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Jarvis Landry and company heading back onto the field now. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asked for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
A look at the numbers for Geis a week ago. 24 carries, a touchdown to go along with 124 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line.
Now Geis stripped. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Doug Martin now gearing up to go again here on offense. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost him.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and that'll bring up second down. Wentz will try again on second down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Moore there. And that takes us from second to third down. Now Wentz on third down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To throw on second and 10. Smith taken in by the tight end Doyle. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. On the ground, it's Geis. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Pittsburgh. Kill. Turn up. Kill.
They'll swing this complete out to Hill. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Third and long, it's Smith. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a play fake. Wentz. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, Wentz. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing is Smith. And that is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. 3rd down here. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now it's Smith. He's got Jack Doyle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And here now is Travis Kelce. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
From the gun, a give to Martin. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the draw, here's Martin. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Go. Check.
And a 10th carry here for Martin. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Barber. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 42. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that will be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
The kick by Bryant is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. Left side, Doyle with it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, down at the 31. Smith hands off to Geis. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Ashawn Robinson there on the stop. They'll run. It's Vereen. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And trotting back out onto the field, Travis Kelce. And we roll the highlights of the game he's had. You know, when we talk about wide receivers and how you shut them down, what about when you have a tight end like this having a game? How do you stop him defensively?
It really changes what you're trying to do, because defensively you're worried more about the wideouts. Okay, how are we going to cover them? The running backs, how are you going to shut them down? But the tight end is that elusive, unique player. Linebacker covering, cornerback covering, safety covering him. Always has the advantage. Usually has final answer against anyone who tries to defend them.
From the 31, Wentz throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Time for the next drive. We'll see what tight end Jack Doyle and the rest of this offense can do. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run with Geis. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Ready, set.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Out of the gun, Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Doyle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Set, ready? 18 Gator.
From the red zone now, Smith. And he's got the hook up to Landry. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now Smith. Pryor has it complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Smith on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Check 99. Check 99.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw, it's Wentz. It's Kelsey on the ground. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Hey, here we go. 120.
on first down. Wentz. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The final shot here before break. Smith looking for Pryor long. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we come upon halftime with a tie score, 13-all. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through 1 half of play. For the call of the 2nd half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wentz. That'll be caught by Cup. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Geis. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. To throw is Smith. And this is brought in by Pryor. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
On 2nd down and 4, Smith. They complete it to Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Got it.
Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
And we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Get it. Go.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Here's Vereen. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Smith now to throw, and that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The kick by Gold is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. That's his 3rd field goal now with the ball game, and they needed his leg. This last one gives them the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Going quickly out wide to Moore. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Martin. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Wentz, and it's complete to Kelsey. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Wentz now on first down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Darren Lee in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. This complete to Martin. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Smith. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Smith. Looking for Pryor long. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On the delay, this is Vereen. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
Here we go, here we go.
That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Watch the screen. Pass.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. Goes underneath to Martin. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. They'll bring out 4 receivers. 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Wentz going to throw. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They run. Martin. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he finds a man. It's Martin. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Here we go. Waiting. I got it. Double tight. Double tight.
They run it again with Martin. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. And he'll be down close to the 1st down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 13-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz.
This drive is turning into an extended one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So an important try here from Matt Bryant. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Smith. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw, Smith. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Denver. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Following the penalty, Martin. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Again, it's Martin. And an alley to run. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here we go. 20!
Now a play fake. Wentz. Throw left side, complete to Cup. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Martin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
The kick by Bryant is good. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll go draw play. Smith gives to Geis. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. He gets it in the hands of Geis. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now Smith, he's got Jack Doyle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is Geis. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Smith. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Smith to throw again. It's Hill, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. And we turn our focus to Doug Martin. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Martin. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Third down, it's Doug Martin. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Brett Kern now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So the Broncos now down by a field goal, 1:50 to play. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Smith now to throw. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Back to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Now Smith. His throw incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And out come the Chiefs now. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
Go. Waiting. Mike 50. Switch.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll keep it on the ground. Martin, and they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 11-yard line.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Chiefs, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Denver, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.